Hi, and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to make a basic, easy pan pizza. We're going to make it in a cast iron skillet. And if you like it, please hit the like and subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that little bell notification so you can be notified whenever I have new content posted. Okay, so let's get on with the recipe. Okay, what I have in front of me is 1.5 cups of bread flour, 3/4 cup cold water, 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, and our yeast. What we will do, we'll put our salt in with our flour, give it a little stir. And this is a no-knead recipe. We will take and add a heaping quarter teaspoon of yeast. So that's 1 heaping quarter teaspoon of yeast. We will add our cold water. Give it a stir until it's all combined. It only takes a couple of minutes. It's a very easy recipe. I'm using what they call a dough whisk. You can use a spatula, the handle of a wooden spoon, whatever you have handy. I found this on Amazon. I've seen it on a couple of YouTube videos, and it's a handy tool to have for making dough, especially when you're making a no-knead dough. Okay, see how that's very quick, easy. Now what we're going to do, we're going to put a cover on this. We're going to leave it out on the kitchen counter for 14 to 18 hours. And that's it. So let it sit on your kitchen counter at room temperature for 14 to 18 hours and it'll be ready. I recommend doing it before you go to bed the night before. It only takes, like you just saw, a couple of minutes. Make your dough, set it on the counter, and it'll be ready for when you get home to make supper. So I made one last night, which is right here, and we'll continue with the recipe. Okay, continuing with the recipe, we have our cast iron skillet. It's a little over a 10-inch cast iron skillet, to which we're going to add 1 tablespoon of olive oil, and then we'll take, using our hands, coat the cast iron skillet with the olive oil. It's going to do 2 things. It's going to make a nice crispy crust. It's going to add flavor and keep it from sticking. So once it's done that, we'll take our dough, which as you can see is nice and risen. It's all bubbly, so the yeast has done its work. We're going to take and spread this in the bottom of our cast iron skillet, dipping our hands in the olive oil to get them a little oily so this won't stick so much. We'll put this in here, get it all out. take and spread this around in our cast iron skillet. Get it as far out as we can, dipping your fingers every now and again to get them a little oily so it doesn't stick so much to your hands. Okay, it doesn't have to be all the way to the edge, but as close as you can. And now we're going to let this rise for an hour and a half to 2 hours. We'll check it in an hour and a half and see if we got a good enough rise. It should get puffy and fill in all the cracks. Okay, be back in an hour and a half. Cover it with a towel or saran wrap. The dough has been rising for an hour and 15 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and preheat the oven to 500 degrees to bake the pizza in the oven at 500 degrees. So be back when the oven reaches temperature. Okay, the dough has been rising for an hour and 45 minutes. The oven's up to 500 degrees. So now we're going to add our toppings and commence cooking our pan pizza. Okay, we'll uncover our pan pizza and we'll add our cheese, our sauce, and then our cheese to the pizza. I recommend when you do your cheese to buy your mozzarella cheese in a block and use a hand grater like this to grate your cheese, because the pre-grated cheese, they put a chemical in it to keep it from sticking together, and it gives it a little off flavor to your cheese. So using a simple box grater, you can avoid that by just buying the 8-inch blocks of mozzarella cheese and hand grating it yourself. If you have a KitchenAid stand mixer, they have attachments for grating all sorts of things. Alright, right now we'll add our sauce. It takes about 4 to 6 ounces of sauce, depending on how much or how little you like. Bring it out to the edge. Okay, that's out to the edge. Now we will add our cheese. This cheese, I grated it from the block on the box grater I showed you. It takes about 4 ounces of cheese. Put on the pizza so you have a nice cheesy pizza. Into this, we're going to put some sliced meatballs on the pizza. Okay. And we're going to add some thinly sliced bell peppers. Thinly sliced onions to the pizza. That should be good. Now we have to put the pan, cast iron frying pan, on the burner on medium-high heat for 4 to 5 minutes. The cast iron pan takes a while to heat. We want the bottom to be a little crisp. So we're going to place it on the burner for 4 to 5 minutes on medium-high heat. Okay, it's been 5 minutes on medium-high to get the cast iron pan start to warm, so the bottom crust will be crispy. Now we're going to place it in a 500-degree oven for 15 minutes, or until the cheese is, everything is melted and the crust is a little brown on the edges. Okay, it's in the oven. Be back in 15 minutes. 15 minutes, I'm going to take the pizza out of the oven. Here's our finished product. Go around the edges, loosen it up a little bit. And we'll get underneath it, put it on our cutting board. There's our finished product. No need, easy recipe for a pan pizza. We'll take and cut it. Hear that crunch on the bottom? Nice and crispy bottom crust. Very hot. Obviously, it just came out of the oven. And there we go. Basic, easy pan pizza, no need.